Hi, students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian, and I'm streaming to you from Hungary here in the heart of Europe. I hope everybody has had a fantastic weekend. In this class, we are looking at speaking part 3, looking to finish the speaking section with a band 9. Hi, Pooza. Nice to see many students joining in on the class. This lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com. For academic IELTS, check us out there, and for the general version of the test, take a look at gieltshelp.com. That's generalieltshelp.com. And you can use the coupon code R4TYJ for a 20% discount. That's R4TYJ. I'll show you real quick where you can do that. This is our academic IELTS web portal here. You can click that big red button to join us there, which will take you to the checkout form where you can click this blue button to use this code R4TYJ. For the general, go to this website at gieltshelp.com. Green background, click that big red button to join us there. Hi, Michael Fan. Hi, Kamola. Tito, nice to see members in the class. Hi, Ruslan. Yeah, I'm backlit, Ruslan, so if the screen is bright, it will be bright, but fear not, only for a short time. That's why I use a darker background. Ideally, I'd have a smart board, and I will upgrade, I think, for next year. But as many of you know, smart boards, they cost about the same as a car. But we'll get there. We'll get there next year. If you have questions, please send me an email to adrian@aehelp.com. Okay. If you're looking to get our exam books in hardcover, you can order them from Amazon. AE Helps Academic IELTS for academic, and G Helps General IELTS wherever Amazon is available. And of course, you can also download our apps, Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help. Students, today we are looking at part 3 questions. This part 3 is following from the part 2 class, part 2 speaking class that we just had with our members. If you missed it, it's okay. Don't worry about it. And this is a speaking class, so make sure to speak and repeat. Okay, speak and repeat. I use a Canadian West Coast accent, so what you're hearing, you would likely hear it in Los Angeles or similar, as well as San Francisco, Seattle, Vancouver, that region of the world. It's a clear, crisp accent, so make sure to copy as much as possible my intonation and pronunciation. All right, students. So let's get into part 3. Let's get through a good amount of questions today, lots of practice. Try to be fluent when you're putting your comments, your answers into the chat. Make sure to say them. So it's great that you're typing, but also say them as you type. And of course, when I correct them, repeat and mark the time in the video so you can check your corrections. Okay. Hi, Huddy. Nice to see you as well. Okay, so students, let's warm up our speaking muscles here in English. Remember, your focus is answer plus explain plus example, smooth example. We'll have some examples here in a moment, so don't fret. Also, connect to your part 2 answer. For those of you that were here in the last class, we talked about our coworkers and building our relationships with them. Okay. And of course, use complex and compound grammar. Reflect the grammar of sentences, of questions. Okay. So keep these in mind as we get into these questions today. So the examiner, once your 2 minutes is up for part 2, the examiner will take back the card and we'll say, okay, that's the end of part 2. Now we will continue with part 3. For part 3, I'm going to ask you some more questions related to the topic of part 2. And then they will begin. So, let's do that now. Part 3, let's talk about relationships. Hey, no surprise there. Part 2 was about an idea we had to improve our relationships. So here we go. What is important to maintain a healthy relationship with others? So answer this question for me first, please. What is important to maintain a healthy relationship with others? Now again, don't try to be too fancy, students. Think about what would 9 from 10 people say? Okay, so if you ask 10 people this question, what is important to maintain healthy relationships? What do you think most people would answer for that? And your answer should be kind of the same as what's needed for a high band on the IELTS exam. Squadron Supreme says trust. Okay, Squadron Supreme, one-word answers will get you maybe 3 or 4 band marks, but not more. Okay, put it into a full sentence, Squadron Supreme. Trust and respect are good ideas. Put them into full sentences. Hello, B, also good ideas. That's what I was thinking. Communication, put it into a full sentence. Communication is important to maintain healthy relationships. Why? Students, have you forgotten my first point? Answer, explain, example. Okay? Answer, explain, example. You have to include those elements to get good band scores. Kevin Buist says, I think everyone should attach great importance to respect, open communication, and forgiveness to keep their relationships healthy. In particular, a sense of appreciation is paramount. Kevin, lots of ideas. Why are these important? All parties should accept each other's shortcomings and communicate constructively to avoid offensive language. Okay, that's a little bit of reasoning there. Me and my little brother adhere to these principles, so we get along really well. Good, Kevin. That's a nice example. A little bit less on the points, Kevin. A little bit more on the explanation. And then you're right on track. Okay. All right. Fantine Prasad says, hi, Adrian. Can you maybe touch on how paper-based IELTS is different from computer-based? Fantine, send me an email and I will let you know for sure. Okay. Irene Domingo says, I believe that to have a good relationship, understanding, honesty, and good communication are paramount because these skills build relationships. Irene, a few corrections there. Take note of those. Karen Batra says, for me, trust is important to maintain a healthy relationships because trust among two people can lead to a lifetime of togetherness. Karen, can you give me an example, a smooth example, like between my boyfriend and I or husband and I? So give me a smooth example. Boomy says, I think the fundamental aspects to maintaining a good relationships are honesty. Without it, there would be chaos in the relationship, both professional or personal, such as in the office among colleagues. Okay. Tito says, I believe that to enhance more understanding, it is important to maintain healthy relationships because it increases trust and respect. Okay, right ideas, but again, students, think about these points, okay? Answer, explain, example, connect to part 2. Here we go. I'd like to see some of these, especially from members and students who watched the last class. So, I believe that respect and effective communication are paramount for maintaining healthy relationships because these skills create productivity and an ability to overcome obstacles. Building these skills were the essence of the country club outing with my colleagues that I just talked about. All right, so here is your Band 9 answer for part 3. Right away, you're showing the examiner that you paid attention when they said, now I will ask you questions related to the topic of part 2. Okay? If you can make that connection for the very first question between your part 2 answer and your part 3 answer for that first question, your band score is going to go like a rocket, up, up, and away, because the examiner will go, okay, here's a clever student who is an expert communicator using the English language. Does that make sense? So answer, I believe that respect and effective communication are paramount for maintaining healthy relationships. Reason, because these skills create productivity and an ability to overcome obstacles. Smooth example, connecting to part 2. Building these skills were the essence of the country club outing with my colleagues that I just talked about. Boom, Band 9. Is that clear, students, how that happens or how that works? This is what you want to practice, okay? Does that make sense? So answer, explain, example, lots of clarity, right? It's just like when you're writing paragraphs, topic sentence, supporting point 1, supporting point 2, connection, right? Okay, so very good. Rajveer says, yeah, that makes sense. Bhumi says, yeah, okay. Paramount, Jaswant, means very important. Paramount means it's of the highest importance, okay? Hikmutillo, I hope your IELTS exam went well yesterday, okay? All right, so here we go. Follow-up question. Has this changed from previous generations? If yes, how? Okay, has this changed from previous generations? If yes, how? Give me a nice full sentence answer, please. Give me a nice full sentence answer. If I miss what you write, don't worry, I'll catch you the next time. I always try to catch different students. Okay. Belinke Fofana says, personally, I think trust is of importance in relationships. It helps people to do a lot of activities better together. For instance, I trust my girlfriend, so we do lots of activities. Belinke, you use the word things 1, 2, 3 times in that short answer. Don't use the word thing, Belenke. Please, students, do not use the word thing or stuff in your speaking. It weakens your answer. Always find a better noun. Also, don't use the word you. You're not talking about the examiner. You're talking about people, and you're talking about yourself maybe. But you're not talking about your examiner because you don't know them. So don't use the word you in your answers. Don't use the word things, and don't use the word stuff. Okay, it's very important if you want to get high band scores. So always find better nouns, better pronouns. Okay. All right. Let's see. Elena Mori says, yes, these days people are very busy with their lives. They don't have time to spend it with their family members. However, in the past, people had simpler lives and more time for their loved ones. Okay, Elena, I think you're a little bit off topic. So the first question is, what is important to maintain healthy relationships? And here I said respect and effective communication. Now the examiner asks me, has this changed from previous generations? So what is required to maintain a healthy relationship? Firstly, make sure to reflect the grammar of the question. It's present perfect. So Elena, I would like to see present perfect in your response. Okay, and a little bit more accurate. You're a little bit off topic there. All right. All right. Surya Devishan Parmar says trust is essential in building relationships. Okay. Suryan, let's get to this question. Again, a little bit more on topic. Rajveer says, I think it has not changed much as trust and communication was already there in my parents' time to ensure great relationships. Only people nowadays do different activities to achieve these. Very good, Rajveer. Very good. It's a nice answer. Okay. All right. Hello B says, yes, definitely. Previously, couples sought out their differences by communicating up front, but these days many couples prefer not to communicate, which is creating difficulties. So then, hello B, it hasn't changed, right? It has stayed the same. Communication and respect are still the same important requirements for healthy relationships as time immemorium. That means forever in the past. Hermant Sharma says, nowadays, as both parents are working, there is little time spent together, which often results in small hiccups and some issues in trust due to isolation. This wasn't there decades ago. Hemant, present perfect in your answer and more clarity. Chaabi, good to see you in class. Says old generations had the same principles and behaviors. Maybe there are minor changes, like the way individuals show their interest in the types of activities. Chaabi, nice. Good to see you in class. And very similar to Rajveer, your answers are both very good. Okay. So I don't think the need for respect and communication has changed from previous generations. In fact, I believe that with the fast-paced lifestyles of most people, these attributes for healthy relationships are more important than ever. This has been proven by my idea and the improvement in relationships, in the relationships amongst or among my colleagues. All right, students, these are your Band 9 answers. So again, notice answer, explanation, example, connection, Band 8, Band 9. Watch the flow here, okay? And for a lot of our students who were in the last class an hour ago and remember the part 2, just imagine if this is all happening together. So I know that these 2 classes I conduct over the span of 2.5 hours, but just for a second, students, especially those of you who saw the last class, imagine that these answers and the part 2 answer are all happening within a 3-minute time frame. So all of that is within 3 minutes, okay? So just imagine that I finished talking about my idea to improve relationships among my coworkers at the office with team building exercises at the country club. The examiner has just listened to this response. Now they ask me, and here you want to speak and repeat. And now they ask me, what is important to maintain a healthy relationships with others? And I answer, I believe that respect and effective communication are paramount for maintaining healthy relationships because these skills create productivity and an ability to overcome obstacles. Building these skills were the essence of the country club outing with my colleagues that I just talked about. Now, the examiner says, has this changed from previous generations? If yes, how? Again, speak, repeat. My answer, I don't think the need for respect and communication has changed from previous generations. In fact, I believe that with the fast-paced lifestyles of most people, these attributes for healthy relationships are more important than ever. This has been proven by my idea and improvement in the relationships among my colleagues. Okay, so that would be your band 9 flow and response. Okay, so that would be the way to do it. Okay, does that make sense? Students, does that make sense? Okay, hopefully it does. Kamola says, yeah, that makes sense. Rajveer says, clear. Saren says, sure. So you are having a conversation throughout part 1, part 2, part 3 with your examiner, but it's not a chit chat. Okay, it's much more advanced. You're showing your highest level of communication to the examiner so that they can give you the highest mark, which is the expert level user of the English language. Okay, all right. So that's what we're doing. Let's keep going, students. So answer, explain, example, connection. Okay, that's what we're focusing on here. Here we go with the next question. Why do people desire to have strong relationships with certain people in their lives? Okay, give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Why do people desire to have strong relationships with certain people in their lives? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Okay. All right. Thanks, Surya Devishna. I appreciate your feedback. Tural Ismailov says, from my perspective, it's absolutely agreeable that people seek to build strong relationships with certain individuals. All people around the world would like to believe and share their secrets with people who they feel close to. Okay, good, Tural. So it's a good start. I had a couple of corrections there, Tural, but I think you're on the right path. So sharing secrets with certain individuals is probably a good reason why we build strong relationships with certain people. Satisfying Time says people tend to strengthen certain relationships because they feel comfortable with each other, and this gives them the love and the support they need to be more productive and happier people. Chabi, that's great. What's the example, right? So this is, again, an easy one to build or put that example into, okay? Emi Fahad says, I guess some people feel that they admire certain individuals more than others, so they try to impress them more. But why, Emi? The question is why. Students, if you have a question that starts with why, your response must contain reasoning. So it must contain since or as a result or because. Okay, there has to be reasoning in your answer. Garv Tandon says, yes, it's true for everyone as it gives them moral and emotional support, and they can also stand up for each other in good and bad times. It's always better to improve relationships with families and friends. Okay. Garv, not bad. Couple of corrections there. Garv, the correct expression is stand up for each other. Okay, we stand up for each other. It means we support each other, right? Okay. Pachu Yadav says, people desire to have strong relationships with specific individuals in their lives because they help them when they are in need, such as my colleagues when I got sick at the office and one of them covered my shift. Right, Pachu? Throw in those examples, students. Throw in those examples. Okay? All right. Let's see. Who else? Who else? I'm always trying to pick some different students, so keep going with your answers. Vatsal, our member, says we need strong relationships in our lives to overcome misunderstandings with colleagues, such as what we've discussed in the previous section. I organized this party to relieve stress in the office. Vatsal, nice. Now you're going into that answer, explain, example. Vatsal, that's the right approach. So much better answer than in the last session, much more direct. Good, Vatsal. I like it. I like it. All right. So many people feel the need to have strong ties with individuals in their lives, like family members, friends, and coworkers. So they have people to rely on when the going gets tough, as well as people to confide in when with their secrets. I realized that this need was there in the office as well. I just had to facilitate a mutually beneficial environment. Hence, the team building weekend. All right. So students, of course, I'm always pushing you to learn new vocabulary, to learn more natural English, to learn some idiomatic expressions as well. So don't threat if some of you are like, "Whoa, Adrian, whoa, those are new words. You're saying sentences I've never seen before." It's okay. Don't worry about it. Write it down. Learn it, right? That's why we're here. So here we go. Let's repeat this together, and then I'll explain a couple words. Repeat with me. Why do people desire to have strong relationships with certain people in their lives? Many people feel the need to have strong ties with individuals in their lives, like family members, friends, and coworkers, so they have people to rely on when the going gets tough. As well, people to confide in with their secrets. Okay. Strong ties means strong relationships. Ties, of course, when you tie your shoelace, right? Or tie a knot. Okay? So we also use it in this connection or in this context with relationships. We build strong ties, okay, in their lives. And then we rely on them when the going gets tough. Going gets tough is an idiomatic expression which means life becomes challenging or there are difficulties in life, okay? Going gets tough. The word confide, this is a nice high-level vocabulary. Confide means to give your secret to someone and trust them not to tell other people, okay? So you confide in a person, all right? Okay. Facilitate. So I realized that this need was there in the office as well. I just had to facilitate a mutually beneficial environment. Facilitate in this case means to create. Okay, to create. Mutually beneficial means a win-win environment where everybody feels comfortable and they're winning. Hence, of course, is another way to say therefore. Okay, so therefore, the team building weekend. One more time, students, repeat. Lots of vocabulary, idiomatic expressions here, very natural English, okay? So again, repeat. Many people feel the need to have strong ties with individuals in their lives, like family members, friends, and coworkers, so they have people to rely on when the going gets tough, as well as to confide in with their secrets. I'd realized that there was this need in the office as well. I just had to facilitate a mutually beneficial environment, hence the team building weekend. All right. Hope that makes sense for everyone so far. Students, follow-up question. Here you go. Is this true for everyone? Is this true for everyone? Okay. Hikmatillo, don't worry about it. We'll correct later. Flow is sometimes more important. Don't get stuck. Okay. Let's keep going. So is this true for everyone? Chabi says, yes, it's always true unless a person suffers from a lack of trust or even loneliness, which may affect communication skills and lead to further issues instead of being close to another person, right? Good job, Chabi. Yeah. Okay, it's a nice answer. Flower Sun says, I don't think it's true for everyone, as some people are very active and fun, so they have lots of friends. Yeah, you just withdrew that, Flower Sun. I think you realize that you're a little bit off topic there. Okay. Abhishek, make sure not to overspeak. Those 3 responses seem a little bit long for that previous question. Careful with that. Pachu says, yes, well, this is true for everyone because people always want to have a good environment with the people in their surroundings and require the help of others to grow and prosper in their society. Pachu, good. Okay. A couple of corrections. Pay attention to those. All right. Okay. While you're thinking about your answer, personally, I believe that this would hold true for most people, as humans are social creatures. However, there are the exceptions. Certain people are introverted and avoid relationships. One of my colleagues who did not attend the team building event is a very quiet and shy person and likes to do projects on her own. All right, there you go. There's my answer. Let's see what else people have. Hikmatillo says, yes, it's absolutely true for everyone because people always need to cement their relationships so they feel confident. This phenomenon helps everyone become friendlier and enjoy others' company. Hikmatillo, nice answer. There is no right or wrong answer, students. So there isn't like, okay, you have to say yes, it's true for everyone, or no, there are exceptions. It's up to you. It's an opinion, okay? What's important is that you express your ideas clearly. If you express your ideas clearly, you can get a band 9 whether you feel that it's important for everyone or for most people. Okay? All right. Let's see. Kevin Bowie says, absolutely, I believe this case rings true for all of us. In fact, best friends and marriages are most common. If not entirely, these build up the need to have faithful companionships on our journey to success. Okay, Kevin, I think you're on the right path. Now you're explaining more, which is good, Kevin. Don't forget your smooth flowing example. Okay. Emmy Fahad says, I don't think it's true. We all have the same characteristics, but people nowadays tend to kill more for it. Emmy, I don't know what you're saying with the tend to kill more for it. Okay. Careful, students, with idioms and expressions. If you don't use them clearly or correctly, it becomes really confusing for the examiner and it drops your score. So Emmy, you have try to express that in another way. Okay. Ad creation says, yes, it's always true because people always try to find individuals who are trustworthy and they become best friends. So they don't feel hesitant to share any information with each other. Ad creation, don't use the word things. Okay. Oh, Taylor, nice. You got a band 8. Fantastic. That's awesome. Congratulations. In the speaking, I believe. I think you did tell me that, Taylor Reese. Or was it a band 8 overall? I think it was or no, that was Kalitun that got a band 8.5 in the speaking. Taylor, very good. Nice job. Was that a band 8 overall, or was that a band 8 for the speaking? By the way, our viewers, especially our new viewers, if you hang out and come back a few times, you'll notice a lot of students like Taylor Reese that come back to these chats and say they got band 7.5, 8, 8.5, because these skills work. We build our strategies on not just IELTS, but effective communication skills, whether in the office, at school, in personal life. So good job, Taylor. Overall, you got a band 8, Taylor. Fantastic. That's amazing. You've outperformed a lot of native English speakers that would spontaneously sit the exam. So very nice, Taylor. Good for you. Congratulations. All right. Anybody else? Nope. Okay. All right. So repeat after me. Let's take these 2 questions from the top again. One is the follow-up, of course, right? So here we go, students. Why do people desire to have strong relationships with certain people in their lives? Many people feel the need to have strong ties with individuals in their lives, like family members, friends, and coworkers, so they have people to rely on when the going gets tough. As well, people to confide in with their secrets. I realized that this need was there in the office as well. I just had to facilitate a mutually beneficial environment, hence the team building weekend. I'm not sure where you saw a mistake there, Hikmatillo, but that looks okay to me. And then the follow-up question, is this true for everyone? Personally, I believe that this would hold true for most people, as humans are social creatures. However, there are the exceptions. Certain people are introverted and avoid relationships. One of my colleagues who did not attend the team building event is a very quiet and shy person and likes to do projects on her own. All right, now there I do see a couple of mistakes. Okay. So far, so good. Good job. Very nice. Hikmatillo says to rely on. Thanks, Hikmatillo. All right. Okay, let's go to the next question. Everybody's feeling good, confident. Now you know what to do, right? Answer, explain, example, connection. How have making relationships changed over the past half century? How have making relationships changed over the past half century? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Okay. Aziz Karimov says, making relationships have changed a lot. Nowadays, people make relationships on the internet even if they don't see each other, compared to the past when people made relationships face to face. It's hard to say naturally, Aziz. People did have pen pals, so sending letters, but face to face, Aziz, face to face. And then Aziz, give me an example, right? Like I have a couple of friends in the U.S. that I never actually met in real life, but through online gaming. However, my grandpa never had friends like this, right, Aziz? So get that smooth flowing example in there. Okay. All right. Let's see what Rihan Mahmoud says. Rihan says, the method of making relationships has altered over the past 50 years. Nowadays, people use social media like Facebook, in Instagram, where our forefathers used to make relationships by going to each other's houses and speaking face to face. Rihan, very nice. Lots of great paraphrasing. Good answer, good explanation, good use of present perfect. I'm checking off all of those boxes on my marking sheet, and I'm giving you a nice high band score. Okay, good. Tito says, decades ago, people used to send and give gifts like fruits and domestic animals to build their relationships, make them stronger. But nowadays, individuals throw parties and functions like the function I just spoke of in the previous part. Very nice, Tito. Nice connection. Tito, nowadays, one word. Okay, nowadays, one word. Nowadays. I know it sounds like it's 3 words, but it's 1 word. Okay. All right. Let's see. Rajveer says, it has changed immensely over the last 50 years. These days, people create relationships using social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter, which was absent half-century ago. Yeah, very good, Rajveer. A lot of you are picking up on the technology aspect, which is great. So, absolutely. The way individuals form their relationships have drastically evolved over the past 50 years, especially with advancements in technology. Often, people these days make friends online through social media like Facebook, which was simply unheard of back in the mid-20th century. In fact, I have several friends that I've made through online gaming. Okay, throw in that smooth flowing example, students. You don't have to do it for every single question, but you should do it for at least 60-70% of the questions. Okay, all right, here we go. How have making relationships changed over the past half century? Repeat after me. Absolutely, the way individuals form their relationships have drastically evolved over the past 50 years, especially with advancements in technology. Often people these days make friends online through social media, like Facebook, which was simply unheard of back in the mid-20th century. In fact, I have several friends that I've made through online gaming. Notice how I'm really emphasizing that present perfect in my answer. I use it several times to clearly show the examiner that I caught that. I was like, okay, that's a present perfect question. Now here you can see me use that present perfect. Okay. All right. Looking good, students. Looking good. Follow-up question. Is this for the better or worse? Thanks, Hikmatillo. Is this for the better or worse? Give me a nice response to this. Is this for the better or worse? Garv Tendon says it has become worse as there is an absence of face-to-face communication, which is always better than social media. Like nowadays, we only do chats and communicating by sitting on our couch. Why is that bad, Garv? So why is the lack of contact or face-to-face communication bad? Give me a little bit more information. I agree with you. It's often bad, but you still have to explain to me why. Okay. Rihan says, in my point of view, this change has a deteriorating effect on society, as in my community, the value of family has reduced dramatically compared to previous generations. Okay, Rihan, that's good. So Rihan is giving us an explanation. She says that this type of communication has had a deteriorating effect on family relationships. Good, Rihan. Good. Elena Mori says, to be honest, it has a negative impact on society. People talk over the internet, but don't really trust each other. The love and affection are absent nowadays. At times, these artificial relationships lead to depression. Elena, really nice explanation. Very, very nice, Elena. 2 thumbs up. Okay, that's what you want to do, Elena, for your answers, is that level of response. Okay, and practice will help you to answer that way, even for questions that might not be as familiar or as close to your heart. Okay. Boomy says, I think it's mostly advantageous because it not only makes people closer to each other, but also these apps give a better platform for making movies like YouTube. Boomy, I think you're going a little bit off topic, so careful with that. Okay. Shirojdin says, I reckon that it is better to make friends all over the world. However, it can be a little bit unsafe because people might not have enough information, and this can be used against them in certain situations like identity theft, right? Shirojidin, you're on the right track. Okay, so lots of different ways to answer this question, students. Just make sure to answer, explain, example. Okay? Now, if you feel it's for the better and worse, say it, right? Well, I think that modern methods of creating relationships through the use of technology has advantages and disadvantages. On the one side, this technology can help people to stay in touch over great distances. Thanks to Facebook, I have no problem communicating with my brother, who currently lives on the other side of the world. However, on the flip side, it also makes people lazier and creates weaker relationships as people do not spend enough time communicating face to face. All right. So, and I'll skip the example here just because, like I said, you don't have to give an example for every single question, just maybe 70% of these questions in part 1 and 3. So again, repeat after me. Is this for the better or worse? I think that modern methods of creating relationships through the use of technology has advantages and disadvantages. On the one side, this technology can help people to stay in touch over great distances. Thanks to Facebook, I have no problems communicating with my brother, who currently lives on the other side of the world. However, on the flip side, it also makes people lazier and creates weaker relationships as people do not spend enough time communicating face to face. That's it. That's your band 9. Answer, explanation, example. Okay? That's what you want to do. Now, if you're doing a great job and you're speaking nice and fluent, then the examiner will continue with some more questions, and they'll say, let's talk about solitude. What does that mean? That's a new word. Panic. Don't panic. Stay relaxed. Listen to the question. The question will help you figure that out. Some people believe that every person should spend time alone in order to reflect on their character. Do you agree with this? Why or why not? Now, if you're paying close attention, you'll probably figure out that solitude means to spend time alone. Where are good places for people to be alone with their own thoughts? Can you elaborate? Isolation has been used as a form of punishment for many centuries. Is this acceptable? Now, you should be able to figure out that isolation means the same as being alone and the same as solitude. So try to figure out words from context. Students, I'm going to leave that last section for you to practice at home on your own or with a partner, and record your answers on your phone. Send it to my email, adrian@aehelp.com, and I will give you a score estimate. I'll let you know how you did, okay? I had a few students send it just the other day from speaking part 1, and that was great, all right? For everyone who's watching, if you'd like to see more videos in HD, of course, much better quality as they're not live videos, but pre-recorded, with me and some other teachers who are experts in IELTS, who have degrees in education and psychology, and we are the ones creating these strategies and materials. Visit us at aehelp.com for academic IELTS and gieltshelp.com for general. You can use the code R4TYJ today to get that 20% discount. Again, this is our general IELTS website here with the green background. Click that red button to join. And this is the academic one here with the blue background. Click that red button to join. That's it for me for today. Next session, next live class will be on Wednesday at this time. Again, speaking part 1. I see all those thank yous. Thank you as well, and mutual respect to all of you. I know you're working really hard to master the English language. Learning a language is a very challenging task indeed, but extremely rewarding. So keep it up. Keep pushing forward, okay? Much love to all of you from the heart of Budapest. See you on Wednesday. Bye for now.